What if all 4 of the English professional divisions were divided up, were based on alphabetical order? It is a pretty simple question, but one that I think is going to wield some ridiculous results. G'day guys, how's it going? It is JarradHD here. Welcome back to another FIFA 18 career mode experiment. FIFA 18? FIFA 19. My god, this game's already giving me PTSD. I'm at the point with FIFA this year where I just want to do everything I can to try out some stupid ass scenarios and just experiment with the game and have a lot of fun. Hey guys, I'd like to let you know that today's video is sponsored by Top 11. I've worked with Top 11 in the past, and there's a reason why I consistently say yes when they approach me to work with each other. And that's because I genuinely believe in and enjoy their game. Top 11 is a free to download mobile management game. And there are so many features to talk about when it comes to Top 11. You're able to arrange friendlies to play against friends by connecting via Facebook. You're able to customize your club emblem and jersey, build your own stadium from the ground up. There's so many different types of competitions. You've got your league, your cup, your Champions League, and your associations. There's a 24/7 live transfer market in which you can bid for players. This is where you can build your team and take it to the next level. And there are tournaments played every weekend. So I'll leave a link in the description for you to go click on. Make sure you go and check out Top 11. So what I have done, I have put all the English clubs, all 92 clubs in FIFA into alphabetical order and then switch them around using the Y button or the triangle button to make sure that all the teams are in alphabetical order. So I'll quickly go through them here. I'm not going to go on for ages. I'm not going to talk about each team because that would be a big waste of time, but to see who your favorite team or where your favorite team is positioned, we'll quickly go through it. But I'm pretty excited to see what's going to happen in this experiment. I'm going to be going through a bunch of seasons, simulating, keeping you guys updated and seeing if any clubs can go from League 2, maybe a West Ham or a West Brom can go from League 2 all the way back up to the Premier League, or vice versa. Can a team from the Premier League like Accrington Stanley go all the way down to League 4 or the 4th division, League 2? Or could there be some crazy change arounds? Could a team like Bradford City remain in the Premier League? So I am going to be simulating 7 years into the future. We'll be going through each season, but we'll be seeing what happens after 7 seasons of teams going in alphabetical order. And to make sure that I am not contaminating the experiment, I am going to be taking over Ajax, a completely random choice, but I'll be taking over Ajax so that we don't have any hands in the transfers or anything like that. So I'll see you guys at the end of the season to see who stays up in certain leagues, who wins certain leagues, and what really happens after one season. So the end of season 1 has come, and Arsenal fans, Unai Emery's done the job for you. Arsenal win the Premier League, and I feel like it could be like this for a fair few seasons up until your Man United's, Man City's, Liverpool's all start to come back up and filter into the Premier League. Burnley in 2nd, so they're back in Europe. Blackburn are still there. Did anyone do terribly? So Bury, AFC Wimbledon and Accrington all being relegated, which really isn't a surprise. No real surprises in the Premier League though. And I mean no real surprises in the Championship. Chelsea and Everton crushing the league, coming automatically up. Leicester, Huddersfield, Fulham and Palace all fighting it out for that final spot. Fleetwood survived. Lincoln City, that's pretty good from a lot of the League 2 sides here. Carlisle United, Gillingham, Cheltenham and Grimsby. Does it 4 teams go down in the Championship or is it 3? I think it's 3. So Cheltenham, Gillingham and Carlisle United. And now I know I've been told off in the past. I'm just going to say Gillingham, but I feel like it's called Gillingham. I don't know, people have given me crap, but I'm going with Gillingham. Apologies in advance to the triggered Gillingham fans. So Man City and Liverpool automatically up to the Championship. Again, no real surprises here. Now 4 teams go down in League 1. Who's gone down to League 2? It's Macclesfield, Morecambe, Newport and Port Vale. And finally, Spurs and Southampton up to League 3 or League 1. And then who would have gone down to conference football, even though that's not a thing here? So Southend, Wickham, Tranmere and Stevenage. So really, in season 1, there's no real surprises. I mean, it's pretty realistic. Sunderland, mid-table in League 2. Could be seeing that quite easily next season. I'm sorry, I always have to get a Sunderland joke in a video. So yeah, that's the end of Season 1. No real surprises. Let's see how things are going in Season 2. Just thought I'd take a quick look and see if there's been any transfers between the English clubs. Pereira's gone to Chelsea. Marcelo's gone to Arsenal. Stones leave City. A lot of players leaving. A lot of players going to Chelsea. Big players as well. Anybody else that's notable? Sigurdsson leaves Everton. Wijnaldum leaves Liverpool. It's going to be interesting. Iwobi leaves Arsenal. Marlos joins Palace. Zuma joins Dortmund. Jeez, Morales leaves Rangers and goes to Brighton. Herrera leaves. Trippier leaves. My God, will these transfers affect the standings? We'll find out at the end of the season. So Arsenal go back to back in the Premier League, but they've got a little bit more competition now. Chelsea and Everton catching up ever so slightly. Burnley went from 2nd to 10th. Not a good season for the Clarets. And it's going to be Cambridge, Blackpool, and Bristol finally leaving. Oh my God, Cambridge, not a single win the entire season. They got 9 points. Oh my God. Man United and Man City are the 2 clubs coming up to the Premier League. So now Arsenal are going to be in big trouble. Liverpool, Leicester, Leeds, and Fulham all fighting it out for that final spot. Who is going down from the Championship to League 1? It is going to be Exeter, Grimsby, and Bury. Again, more Premier League clubs filtering back up the divisions. Spurs, Newcastle, and Southampton all getting into the race. No, Spurs and Newcastle go straight up. Southampton, West Ham, Norwich, and Nottingham have to fight it out, apologies. And then who got relegated? 4 teams. Carlisle, Gillingham, Northampton, and Oldham Athletic. And Watford finally escaped the 4th division. They're trying to make their climb back up to the Premier League. I'm interested, over the 7 seasons, will any of these Premier League clubs not make it back up? They're joined by Sheffield, and those teams have to fight it out. Sunderland might finally make their path back to the Premier League. And then who finished bottom? So Macclesfield, after getting straight back down, struggled a lot. Stevenage, Morecambe, Tranmere, and Yeovil all struggling big time. Arsenal, fair play to them. They've hung on by the skin of their teeth here. After the 3rd season, they sit in 1st spot again. Man United and Man City closing in though. Chelsea very close. So it's starting to resemble what the Premier League should be looking like. A lot of the Premier League clubs finishing in the top 10 except for Cardiff. Aston Villa doing a pretty good job. But it's going to be Bradford City, Burton, and Bolton all getting relegated. So things are starting to even out. Liverpool and Spurs going back up to the Premier League. So Spurs have gone from the 4th division all the way back up to the Premier League. That is a very good effort. Fulham, Leicester, they're not getting back up there though. They're staying in the 2nd division, which is not good. And then who's going down? Accrington almost, but okay. So what, did Crawley start in? Let me check my notes quickly. Okay, so Crawley did not start in the Premier League, but Cambridge and Wimbledon did. So Cambridge and Wimbledon, AFC Wimbledon, have gone down to the 3rd division already. West Ham and Watford, they're on the road to the Premier League again. Back-to-back promotions for Watford. Wolves, Stoke, Norwich, and Nottingham Forest fighting it out there. And Exeter, Grimsby, Bury has gone down every single season. They're back in the 4th division. They're starting to even things out. They're joined along with Mansfield Town in League 2. Wigan, they're getting out of the 4th division with Swansea. Sunderland again trying to fight their way out of it. And who finished bottom? So Tranmere, Yeovil, Swindon, and Stevenage. Not too much changing there. This is our 4th season, and we've finally had a changing of the guard. Very similar to real world football. Man City are the English Premier League champions. They've come from the 3rd division all the way up to the top, and now they've won the league again. Spurs almost going back to back in terms of winning League 2, winning League 1, winning the championship. They almost won the Premier League, but it's now an all Premier League top 10, top 12 really. Brentford really breaking it up. Cardiff not doing too well. But the Premier League's almost restored back to its normal positions. Bristol, Birmingham, and Leeds relegated. And Southampton and West Ham do get back up to the Premier League. West Ham completing their comeback all the way from the 4th division. And Leicester, Fulham, Watford, Ipswich fighting it out. Newcastle still hovering in the Championship. No other Premier League sides there. Crewe, Fleetwood and Bristol are relegated. West Brom, Swansea, Nottingham Forest, all these sort of sides trying to get up. West Brom back up to the Championship, so maybe they'll come back to the Premier League. Wigan hovering in there. Reading staying pretty down low. Notts, Luton, Cheltenham and Crawley all going back down to League 2. Sunderland finally escape League 2 as well. They get up to the 3rd division where they are currently in real life. Sheffield United joining them. Bury trying to get back to League 1. They had back-to-back relegations, but they might be back into the promotion zone. And the same sort of suspects, the usual suspects, staying near the bottom of the League 2 table. I don't hold much hope for sides like Wickham in this video. Thought it would be a good time to check in on the transfer world 5 seasons deep. Richarlison goes to Chelsea. What other Premier League? Ronnie Lopez to Spurs. Any others? Eriksen leaving. That will hurt Tottenham's title chances. What's he rated? 88 at 31. That's decent. Anybody else coming to the Premier League? Lo Celso going to Liverpool. Dolberg goes to Arsenal. Alaba to Manchester United. Some big business being done. Wesley to Liverpool. Mina to Juve. Diop changing between clubs. There's a lot of business being done here. Llorente going to Everton. This is making for some interesting viewing. I'm interested to see how it's going to affect things come the end of this 5th season. And we get the answer to that question as Spurs win the Premier League title. A very low scoring season, I must say. 83 points there. Tottenham, despite losing Eriksen, win the Premier League title. Man City in 4th. Arsenal in 3rd. United in 2nd. Burnley pushing back up there. It's looking pretty good. Did Cardiff finally? Yeah, Cardiff! Wow, amongst a lot of Championship opponents, they do get relegated, so they are another club that started off. Actually, all 3 of the clubs getting relegated are clubs that started off in this top division. Cardiff, Brentford and Barnsley all being relegated. But Bristol City, they get themselves back up to the Premier League. So they're the first side, I think, that's been relegated and come back up. They join alongside my favourite side, Fulham. Don't know if I mentioned that to you guys ever, but they are getting promoted, which is good to see. Swansea, Watford, Leeds, Derby pushing up for it. Newcastle, they've really struggled in this video. West Brom mid-table for them. And it's going to be Forest Green, Accrington and Lincoln City all going down to League 1. Wolves continue to make their progress back to the Premier League. They finished top of League 1 with Middlesbrough also getting promoted. QPR close to getting back up to the Championship. Sunderland in mid-table. Bury just survive again. Sheffield United, oh, they must have got relegated. So they got relegated, then promoted, excuse me. Sheffield United, wow, okay, I didn't expect that. A Championship club in real life, going back down to League 2. Scunthorpe and Luton getting promoted. Any clubs that really stand out to me? Walsall potentially, Macclesfield surviving, but it's really the same old story in League 2. League 2 has just about evened out and become a graveyard here. So this is season 6, this is the second last season, and now we can see that it is basically an all Premier League for lack of a better term. The only sides currently surviving from the first season, Blackburn, Aston Villa, Bristol, so the rest of it's Premier League, but I mean, Man City did win the league, no real surprises there over United, but Watford and Huddersfield, 2 Premier League clubs, going back down to the Championship along with Bristol City, which is quite surprising to see. And it's not Premier League clubs coming straight back up either. Leeds United and Brentford going up to the Premier League. They're getting back up after being relegated. Potentially Cardiff could get back up after getting relegated and finished the experiment in the season or in the competition where they started. Nottingham Forest, Newcastle, terrible video for them. They have done terrible in this experiment. Coventry, Doncaster and Bolton relegated. Stoke City are getting back up to the Championship along with Reading. Sunderland pushing for that playoff spot, but it's not to be. Who's going down? Lincoln, Luton, AFC Wimbledon and Scunthorpe. So Wimbledon, after starting in the first division, starting in the Premier League, they're back down to League 2. So even worse than they are in real life. And Sheffield United and Bury getting promoted once again. Bury have had a very up and down video, haven't they? And then who's finishing bottom? Is it going to be a dumpster fire again? It is Wickham. Wickham have honestly been dreadful in this video. So let's kick on and see how the final season of the experiment finishes up. So taking a look at the final pieces of business. Wow, okay. Who's this Felix bloke? He looks good. 86 rated. He went to Liverpool. A no-face person. No idea who he is. Pogba must have left Man United earlier. Palacios went to Chelsea. So it's all really happening, isn't it? A lot of players bouncing between clubs. A lot of big name transfers. But let's go and have a look at the tables and see where the specific clubs finished for this experiment. So Man City have done what we all expected. They have come up from the 3rd division, being an M alphabetical team, and have won the Premier League basically for the past 3 seasons. They've absolutely killed it. Everton in 2nd, which is quite impressive, but I want to see how many non-Premier League teams. So there's only Leeds, Villa, Blackburn and Brentford that aren't in the Premier League. 4 teams aren't current Premier League teams, which just shows how good these Premier League clubs are. The Championship does hold the other Premier League clubs. Watford and Cardiff would have been going up to the Premier League. Potentially Huddersfield as well. Newcastle, what are you doing? I know you just lost to Liverpool 4-0, but things really aren't going well for the Magpies, are they? And who got relegated from this division? It is Hull, Colchester and Blackpool. So not too good there for Hull. Swansea and West Brom did pretty damn bad as well. Portsmouth would have been getting up to the Championship with Peterborough. Sunderland in the playoffs. Wigan about mid-table. Same with Millwall. Forest Green held themselves up for a long time. Cambridge went from the Premier League back all the way down to League 2 though. Same with Bury, they came up and down. They had a very yo-yoing sort of video. And finally League 2, Lincoln City coming back up. Same with Wimbledon, they were potentially on the comeback trail to the Premier League. Don't know how much I believed in that. And did Wickham finish last again? No, they didn't. They finished in 21st, but they still suck. But lads, that is where we are going to conclude today's FIFA 19 experiment video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like on the video. Also, make sure if you are new around here, you bloody scorpion, kick that subscribe button down below. But most importantly, I hope you have a fantastic day. It has been JarradHD here. I am out. Peace. Once again, I would like to thank Top 11 for sponsoring today's video. If you would like to check out the game and access all of the awesome features that I spoke about earlier, make sure you go and click the link in the description or head over to either the iOS or Android app store to download the game today. And I mean, you've got nothing to lose at all. The game is free. Only fun is to be had. Once again, thank you to Top 11 for sponsoring the video.